a voice to call and tell me to skin, asking if I had been going the distance. Sing a faith of passion that I cannot deny.
Hello everybody, my name is Skybound.
Sorry, Flux.
And we've just got finished watching episode 19 of Boku no Hero Academia.
That ending.
Yeah,
That was a weird ending.
It has raised a couple of questions, definitely.
That guy, we haven't really seen much of him. And I think that's deliberate because he isn't going to be like Wallflower by any chance. Basically everybody just forgets about the guy. And then he's got this, has he got like mind control powers or something like that? Because it seems like, or ability to absolutely scare the shit out of people. Like,
yeah, I'm not too
control
sure.
their emotions or something like that, or
take their willpower or something, because he mentioned something like, so this is a contest like about willpower and that, and then so maybe it's just the ability to take certain emotions. From people,
I
something
think that's it. But it just ended in such a weird way because
it did end quite abruptly. I mean, let's see what else happened in that episode. Cheerleaders.
fan service.
Yeah.
It's like the weird thing is having fan service of somebody who's invisible doesn't really work. It's like I can't imagine there being much, let's say, specialised images of her on the internet because she's pretty much invisible, for crying out loud.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like all you can really draw is like some clothes just floating in midair. So you know,
That's like
that's her power. That is her power.
What?
Her superpower is not being able to be made into Rule 34.
oh my god!
The most powerful power on the
Oh my
internet.
god, that is actually true.
There we go.
If before people mention it has actually been done
It probably has done that.
somehow. Like, I don't know how, but someone will find a way of doing it.
Let's not think too hard on that. Instead, let's talk about the actual episode itself.
God. I mean,
But one thing I would like to say though is I find what's his name? The Two-Face guy.
the Two-Faced guy that basically got scolded by his mother or something, like in like boiling water or something, because
Yeah, but they mentioned another interesting thing as well, which was the kind of using basically
marriage.
breeding quirk marriage it was called, wasn't it?
Oh god.
Where it was basically you marry people up based on their
quirks to try.
based on their quirks to strengthen their own quirk, so kind of synergize the quirks to make them even more powerful.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, and it's also based. It's also one of those things where you know, forced marriage is obviously like things that do sort of happen.
Yeah, not necessarily good.
Yeah,
But to be
and-
fair, they always, well, most of the time,
And I think it is something.
say
that,
most of the time, they're thinking about it all the bloody time.
I think it is something that sometimes does happen in Japan. Hopefully not like a super common thing, but I do seem to remember as well in Sword Art Online.
They're arranged marriage.
Yeah, as soon as parents try to marry her off to some rich guy to basically.
They
you
do
know.
have a weird culture when it comes to marriage, and especially adoption of adult women as well. Apparently, that's a thing. Like, so it's
It's kind of interesting how it approaches this life with these powers.
Yeah.
The fact that there are sort of these things as well. So that's another thing I've been really sort of enjoying about Hero Academia is the world that it takes place in as well.
God, yeah.
It's not just sort of this magical world where everyone has superpowers and it's all wonderful and everything.
There's
kind of like
a realism to it.
Yeah.
A realism to how the characters would act.
There's a, you know, there's like cultures there, like there's their own sort of cultures, like you know, not having a quirk could be comparable to having like a disability. Or something. I mean,
well, I've made the comparison a few times before about how it seems like a lot of the comparisons they were mentioning was similar to someone with a learning difficulty.
yeah,
You know, having had to go through certain things like that when I was at school, it kind of does ring a little bit true to, you know, go a little bit close to home with sometimes when I've seen some of because it's just thinking, you know what? Yeah, this kind of rings true a little bit to some of the stuff I've had to deal with.
So it's definitely interesting in that regard as well, in terms of like relatability. Like even though it's a world full of superpowers.
Yeah, but
and
the
stuff,
thing
but it's
is, right, is
relatable.
okay. The one thing you have to keep consistent to have a good show, right? The one thing that all the good shows have when it comes to consistency isn't necessarily about what's physically possible. It's about the characters. You know, that's what it is at the end of the day. If the characters have actual, relatable and understandable motivations and emotions, and that's the one thing you have to keep realistic, no matter what the scenario of a show.
And I think they've done very well at sort of keeping the motivations kind of realistic. Like, so Midoriya's like his kind of motivation is, you know, he wants to be sort of the greatest hero, like no one ever was.
He wants to be number one then.
Yeah, he wants to be number one, but Bakugo also wants to be number one, but he wants to do it more out of a sense of pride and basically being sort of on top. Midoriya wants to be a hero because
so many people have supported him and they're relying on him to, you know, so many of them are relying on him to basically do a good job.
So a bunch of people all want to be like. I mean,
there's at least three that want to be.
And then there's like Uraraka. Was that a name? Uraraka or something like that. Yeah, it's Uraraka.
What's the quote again?
The gravity girl one, you know.
Oh right, yeah.
Her name's something like Uraraka or something. But her motivation for being the best hero is, I just want to make money.
It's like,
I just want to make that dosh.
It's like, I can understand it if you're in the world where you can literally make money and have a job as a hero. You can understand it, that somebody who wants to be a hero to make money.
I mean, you kind of can be.
But just because you're trying to make money off something doesn't mean that you can't be a good person while doing that.
I mean, when you think
that's what a lot of
about it.
people who go on like communists don't integrate their.
Well, one thing one of the things is, you know, you can get paid to be a hero even in this world. You know, firefighters, cops, ambulance personnel, all that kind of thing. You can get paid to be a hero. Might not be, you know, a superhero, you know, smashing through buildings and all that cool shit. But
Well, to be fair, the firemen, they
they smash through buildings with a massive hammer and run into burning buildings and stuff. So they're probably the closest to being like the traditional superhero. So if you're looking for a job, if you fancy being a superhero, there you go, firefighters. But yeah, that's something I like as well. All the different motivations, and all of the motivations in and of themselves are realistic. You know, money, power, or just, you know, a desire to be the best person you can be, kind of thing. Every single motivation I've seen so far makes sense.
Yeah, there's none of these unrealistic reasons for doing it. Like, it's not like and I bet you the villain will have a realistic reason for being a villain. It won't be something just generic super villain 152 or something like that.
We haven't actually seen any villains so far, have we?
Well, we've technically, not this season, but the last season.
Well, yeah, last season we obviously saw that was like their first fight against villains. But this one so far, they've basically been just it's
been a tournament arc.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's basically been a tournament arc,
which is nice because it's like it's interesting because even though it's just a tournament, like it's just a sports tournament, they do it really well. They actually make you know, a bit on the edge of your seat sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes? Most of the bloody time.
But yeah, really, really good so far.
Well, yeah, it's been a really good. I mean, again, it's been consistent.
Yeah, but this episode was a bit slower. This didn't have as much action going on. It was a more slow-paced one, which is fine. As a result, you might have noticed how high scores go to ones which have like fights and stuff like that in, because they do them so bloody well. In this particular case, I'm going to go for a 7, so we're still above average, but yeah, not too much happened. It was just a nice casual watch.
Yeah, I would say well, I'm not gonna just change my score just because for the sake of it. I agree. The 7 does seem to be a closer. Yeah, I'd say I agree with that 7. I mean, these ain't anything formal. It's not like we worked something out beforehand, but I would agree that's pretty much accurate to it. I mean, we generally give but I suppose we're kind of biased towards fight sort of scenes and things more, because more actiony stuff. Because to be fair, that's what we kind of enjoy more. But
well, the actiony stuff. The thing is, when Hero Academia does action stuff, it normally looks really good.
God, yeah.
Like
yeah.
It's a lot like watching a superhero movie in that the action is really over the top, really impressive with like all those explosions and all that sort of superpowers being demonstrated and shit. It's so much fun watching that, especially because due to the nature of how Hero Academia sort of plays out, you never really know who's going to come out on top.
Oh
of it.
God, no.
That's another thing. There's that air of unpredictability that I really like when they're in fights. It's just like, this person has the edge, then this person has the edge. Everyone's got the edge. What's going on?
Yeah.
So yeah, another good episode.
Yeah.
Really enjoying this. Hopefully you'll keep watching us watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed our reaction. That's down there. If you didn't already notice the link in the description. Yeah, I can't really think of too much more to say on that matter. Another good episode.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Same here.
Yeah. So
Anyway, we might as well wrap it up.
yeah. So as usual, my name is Skybound.
Starlight Flax.
And we'll see you for the next episode, which will be episode 20 of My Hero Academia. Goodbye.
Right.